This episode of We Gave Up Naming This Podcast is brought to you by Lysol. Nah, I'm just bullshit. These sick ass niggas over here.
Hey, bro, I showed up, bro. I showed up. Show must go on, bro.
Hey, this should have been a one-man joint today. Should have been this whole like, what's the show?
What is the show? T? That's why you need me. What's about Joe Rogan?
The Tonight Show.
Oh, no.
Tonight Show. David Letterman type shit.
Anyway, we are back with the We Gave Up Name of this podcast.
Episode 5, week 5.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to get right into it. So, this week is Thanksgiving week, and I just want to ask you, like, what are you thankful for? I know it's corny, but sometimes we got to reflect, you know.
What am I thankful for? Man, this year, I'm going to say life, for sure. I'm thankful for the ability to change and progress.
Yep.
I'm thankful for the podcast. I'm thankful for my family, my children. Thankful for friends. I'm just thankful, grateful for sure.
For sure.
What about you? What you thankful
for? My family, friends, health. You know, I'm a little under the weather today, but you know, health is wealth, bro. And you know, a lot of people don't have it. So when people get on their deathbed and they look back and you know the times where they were well and shit, and they look back and they miss it. So health is wealth. That's what I'm thankful for. And also, bro, Thanksgiving, like people are starting to celebrate Christmas earlier and earlier each year. It feels like Thanksgiving just skipped over now.
Yeah, I mean, I think just because people
skipped over, but
people want to be the first to put up their decorations, like,
bro, folks talking about it, bro. Soon as Halloween night end, the tree going up, bro.
Crazy. Like I don't know, like when it comes to like Christmas decoration, like I don't want to sound like a Grinch, but I ain't really big on the whole Christmas decorations and stuff like that.
Like, I like a good tree. I like a good tree.
I hate Christmas
for the kids.
I hate Christmas music,
bro. Like, you know who got a fire Christmas album though?
Who?
James Fauntleroy. The best. I think it's called the best Christmas ever.
Don't know who that is.
R&B. See,
I think I do. He owned a couple of the Jay-Z. That dude, is that who you talking about?
You know who?
I think I know who you talking about.
I don't know, brother. I don't know, but he's wrote or written for a lot of different people.
That ain't the dude that's on the God did song, is it?
No, he's an R&B singer. But yeah, it's fire album. Y'all check it out, bro.
Maybe.
All right, so we'll get into a first topic.
First topic. What's the first topic?
The Kendrick.
Okay.
The Kendrick mixtape.
Yeah. So
you see what I said? A mixtape, because I don't think that's the album.
Well, I mean, we gotta call it an album because it has no. Well, traditionally a mixtape is usually. Well, I guess the dynamic of a mixtape change. So the Kendrick tape is what we're gonna call it. The tape. Okay. The tape. We don't want to call it an album. We don't want to call it an album. But the Kendrick tape. What do you think about it?
Honestly, I didn't even finish it, bro. I got 5 songs into it, and it's just I feel like I had to be in a special mood to listen to Kendrick, and I just wasn't feeling it that day for a surprise album. Like, yeah, I got like 6 songs deep, and I haven't listened to it, or I haven't finished it. So.
It wasn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like the project.
It wasn't.
I like
it
some
wasn't
songs
typical
on
Kendrick. It's not deep, really. You know, like what about I say the art, the artistry. Just
I always feel like people reach when they say that too. When it comes to like all hip hop is art. Like let's get an understanding about that first. Like they're saying that Kendrick's an artist because he puts out these prolific and these thought provoking albums. But I mean, everybody don't consume music the same. Like you know, you know how I feel about Future. Future is my Kendrick, my TD Jakes. So I heard something different when I listen to Future. Yeah. So music is very subjective when it comes to what you hear. But when it comes to this Kendrick album, I don't know about tradition, but I truly didn't like the project as a whole. I like some of the songs on there. It had some good production, but it I guess he built his own opportunity, but it seemed opportunistic. That's what it seems like. It's like, let me drop some music, you know, because I know the project gonna go crazy. People gonna listen to it.
Okay.
None the casual listeners is who gonna listen to it. People that don't listen typically don't listen to Kendrick went to go listen to this album because we wanted to hear what Kendrick said. I'm a list. I listened to Kendrick, and a few of his projects I didn't like that y'all ran and raved about. I don't think he has anything as good as Good Kid, Mad City. In the previous projects before that, I feel like that's truly who Kendrick is in the sense of artistry. I feel like a lot of the lure around Kendrick is social media driven by this era. It's very hypersensitive era. I feel like, you know, they find somebody they want to put on a pedestal, and that's what they did with Kendrick. Music could be mid to me.
Yeah, a lot of D ride on Twitter, like, and I seen it like just being a fan of both of them.
Hmm.
Like it's weird, like you can I can step outside and see both sides. So it's just I don't know, man. Is
Yeah, I don't want to bring the other guy into this conversation because it's not about him. This is Kendrick's week. This
facts.
is Kendrick's time, so I'm not gonna bring that guy into the conversation. We know who that guy is.
Yeah,
He is who he is. But when it comes to this, and I just feel like this was a West Coast driven album. I feel like when it comes to Kendrick, like none of his music outside of to Good Kid, Mad City, we didn't really get any West Coast vibes. Like I like this. I love this for the West Coast because you know they got that guy, and that guy is feeding into the local culture of the West Coast, all the way up to the Bay. This album had L.A. and it had the Bay up there. So you know, shout out to Kendrick for that.
bro. I'm very snotty. it's
But he need to blow his
it's
nose.
getting worse by the second, bro.
Go ahead and take care of your business. I got this. Let me
Yeah,
talk to the people. Stop all that D ride. When it comes to Kendrick, or any other artist for that matter. If you don't like an artist, and so you know, in a combative sport, you're gonna say, "Oh, this was crazy," or "This was great," or "This was amazing," because you don't like another artist. You know, you can be critical of an artist, uh, even in the arena of battle. You could have said they both are trash. I mean, that's how I was looking at it when the distance started between the two artists. I was saying I wasn't really feeling neither one of it. It took me a couple listens to actually start enjoying it. My favorite song of the battle was Euphoria. It just does something for me when I hear this song. Like, but the greatest diss out of the whole thing was Family Matters. Like, it was just well thought of, well put together, and I feel like the dynamic of the battle changed when Kendrick decided to call the other individual a pedophile. Like, I don't want to play no more. You call me a pedo, you better have some evidence, because you know when I see you after that, it's hands on. Like, there's just certain things you don't play about, in my opinion. So just stop out of the D ride. Like, Drake is music. Drake is hip hop. You know, hip hop ain't really even been the same since this battle because you take Drake out of the equation, you start hearing how trash everybody else is when they don't get the Drake features, or you know he ain't pumping the music out like he is in that volume. Like, I feel like you know he gets a tough break when it comes to things. You know, like you calling a black man a culture vulture is crazy. Like, listen, that's crazy. Like, I don't care where he's from. Like, we all, at the end of the day, we all are immigrants when it comes to this country. Like, nobody belongs here but the indigenous people. Um, I'm ranting while my partner, my co-host, is taking care of his health. But yeah, I think that Kendrick could have did a lot better with this project. Like, I didn't want to hear the Tibet Butterfly. I feel like y'all gas. I feel like Cole said exactly what he wanted to say about that album. Cause I felt that way. Like, as far as artistry goes, yes, by all means, it's art. But hell, what Andre 3000 did was art as well. Like, and he blew a goddamn whistle on the album, and I wasn't listening to that. Like, certain music I'm not listening to. Certain things I don't listen to. Like, that does not mean that you're intellectually better than me because you can process a Kendrick album better than I could. or anybody else for that matter. Like, so let's not spread that narrative when it comes to music. Let people enjoy the music that they choose to music. If I want to listen to drill music, just know I'm mature enough to not go slide after I hear drill music. Oh yeah, like shout out Pooh Shiesty. Like I can't wait till he drop. Like I need to hear some good slide music. Like he changed the game. Like Memphis period. Like being from Memphis, like let's shout out Memphis. Like we got the best female artists in the game right now. You know, yeah, true that. Um, but they're not gonna give her credit. They're not gonna give her the credit they should give her. You know what I'm saying? But shout out Glorilla. Shout out Pooh Shiesty. He coming home soon. I know he got some bangers on the way. Bangers. But also, people that consume music because we're older. I have a teenage son. My son just turned 16. And so the music that he listens to, I truly, want people to educate their children on not believing the hype. Now, some of these artists is out here sliding. We seen it firsthand. But that road only leads two places. It's no fairy tales when it comes to violence and street life. Death or jail. Death or incarceration. My host is back. My co-host is back.
Yeah, I'm back. Still feel very, very congested, but
so what do you think about when it comes to artistry and it comes to Kendrick and the music that
I think he's a great artist. I mean, he's one of the best of all time. Like we gotta give him his props. I'm a huge Kendrick fan. I think like you was talking about earlier, his earlier projects like what is it?
Section 8.
Section 80. One of my favorite projects as well from him. But I mean, I like Damn.
Damn was decent.
To Pimp a Butterfly, I was not feeling it.
Listen,
just like Cole said, they hyped this shit.
Bro, J. Cole said exactly what he felt. He
right.
He took it right out of my head. He was in my head in that moment because I don't care what nobody say. If I was on the highway listening to Pimp a Butterfly, I'd be in a ditch.
Anyway, so how do you feel? First let me ask you this. Did you feel like Kendrick dissed Wayne in the what is it, Whack That? Is it Whack That Mirrors?
I think it was a lot of symbolism. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, even after the comment he made, it was like I'm glad, Nas was the only person that congratulated me. I'm glad to see I'm in y'all skin, I'm in y'all mind, and the LA reference, LA, Louisiana. Even the album cover. The album cover is the Carter too. I mean, essentially.
I mean, it's been like 100 niggas who pose on cars, so.
But I mean, listen. First of all, Wayne, sit this one out, buddy.
It would
be leave Buddy alone. Let Buddy do what he do, so he can go back into his space,
into his hole.
Because he literally almost destroyed hip hop. Drake is hip hop, and he literally destroyed hip hop.
Right. So I just don't understand how people would think that Lil Wayne would be able to compete.
He don't stand a chance
past this.
Like
he's like 15 years past his prime.
It ain't even that, bro. Kendrick is a walking pair of black forces. No, he like the Chucks. You know on the West Coast when they throw a pair of Chuck Taylors over the line and you see him hanging. Yeah. Kendrick climbed the pole, got them Chucks off, and put them on. Like leave dude alone. Like he got little man syndrome. Clearly, he angry. Like instantly angry. Like just certain people you don't mess with. He one of them. Just let it go. Let Buddy. And then he got a whole coast. You know what I'm saying? Like just.
So you don't think Lil Wayne has the South?
Kendrick has a whole coast. Like I've never seen so many people like the whole boogeyman and hip hop thing. Like I didn't believe it until I started seeing people making sure they let him know that they weren't throwing no shade. Like like he the boogeyman. Like you got people checking in saying, hey, I don't want no diss. I ain't trying to diss Kendrick. So he the boogeyman. I mean, that don't mean he make great music or he make the best music. He just in an arena of battle, certain people you don't want to deal with. He Terrence Crawford. Like he dusty. Like you can't beat anybody that's dusty. Like I'm sure Buddy in the studio right now recording his next project.
Yeah, like I made the analogy like Kendrick is like I don't know if you ever played against a really good Smash Brother player like the dude, the nerd, the dude who bring his joystick with him everywhere he go. And on top of that, he musty. Like he's just stank. Like that's how much Kendrick loves hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Just like those guys love Smash Brothers. Like he loves he's a hip hop purist. You know what I'm saying? Shit, why can't you remember his songs? Like,
Now,
like
to his credit, Wayne has said a lot of things. Like, let's make sure we understand too.
what,
Yeah,
what you
Little Wayne, the volume of quality
mean?
bars that Wayne has given us it's never been matched. Like, so let's understand that too. Like, when it comes to that, Wayne he's put out a lot of music. Like, and again, I feel like this generation don't appreciate that. Like we like who we like in this generation, and then we shun everybody else. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I can't take that. I mean, Wayne had an epic run, bro. Wayne had an epic
but it
run.
was more. It was our music versatility. Like we could listen to Jay-Z, we could listen to Wayne, we can listen to Ye, we can listen to Ti. Like it was all variety. None of those people that I named sounded alike at all. Everybody sounds alike now, and so you'll have a person like Kendrick that'll drop, and then we'll go crazy because he sounds so different. But dynamically, it's just because everybody sounds the same.
I heard it, man. I barely even listen to hip hop now. Like,
No, I
outside a
still
few,
listen to it.
outside a few. I mean, I still listen, but outside a few are like, if I ain't listen to Tyler, J Cole, Jid. Okay, now I do listen to hip hop because I about to keep naming people.
Yeah,
It's
so
me,
you-
like so I still because I love hip hop, so I
Yeah.
still do.
And I listen to the rough side of hip
I
hop.
listen,
Like,
I listen to shit, Freddie Gibbs' new album. Like I am a hip hop nerd too. So
yeah, hip hop subjective. Music is subjective. Let's move on from that.
yeah, for sure. So did you see Lisa Ray post? I think you was telling me
Yeah,
something about Lisa
I
Ray.
seen-
What Lisa Ray do, bro?
Lisa Ray did nothing but what a 57-year-old single woman should do, or however old Lisa Ray is. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, listen, she is not y'all savior.
What did she say? What happened?
She was
Tell
just
us the
talking
story.
about like, men not being qualified. Like, like if you ain't qualified to deal with her, then you can't, basically. And then you had women saying, "Oh, thank you, Lisa Ray. Y'all ain't even qualified to deal with y'all self. Y'all don't hold y'all self up to the standards that y'all place on men. Like, be that. Like, be that. Be exactly what you want. Like, she is not y'all savior. Like, y'all need to change. Y'all don't drink water. Y'all barely know how to wipe good.
Bruh,
And this is not an attack on women,
brother, it's going off the rails.
but I mean, it's just like I see it all the time. Like y'all, y'all Megan y'all savior. Like, and that's like she 20 what 25.
Something like that.
You got grown women that got kids, like, but sweetie, like I ain't gonna go there on how many baby daddies or how many relationships, failed relationships, or how many posts I've seen you him. It's always a new him. It's never matching pajamas for you, some of y'all. Like, we ain't gotta get into all that because this is not a woman hating podcast, but please choose your savior wisely. Like, I want the women to choose Sarah Jakes. Lisa Ray ain't it. Lisa Ray is not it. Like, she's not y'all savior. And that goes. Let me piggyback off that to go and roll into this next part of what I want to say. Like,
All right, what you got?
Relationships, the dreaded relationship podcast conversation. Like,
It was bound to happen, huh?
yeah, I gotta have this conversation. I made a post the other day and it said, I never want to be the exception. I want to be the standard, right? I made that post. I swear to you. 4 hours later, I went to go to the body shop to pick up my car.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and a lady walked in and she was having a conversation with this receptionist about dating and all that. And she said this, the man that I'm attracted to typically don't act right. So, you got to find somebody that, that like you and, that gives you that energy. And you ain't gotta always like them, but you know,
It's good advice. Date people who like you.
yeah,
It sounds simple, but
yes, but that's just basically saying that, you know, I always say that women are settlers. I think women settle for what they can get versus men. Like men aren't settlers. Like we normally get the woman we want. Now that don't mean they want us.
I would say both
You think so?
settle.
I,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah. Women settle. Men settle all the time.
no,
Yes,
no.
bruh. You've heard many stories about the dude reminiscing. Like, oh man, it was the one that got away. Like that
But
type
he
shit.
9 times out of 10 she got away because he ran the away. Like
I mean, yeah, but
so,
I'm saying, but it
no.
still wasn't. But it still was the person that he wanted though.
No,
And he realized.
nothing that I
Yeah.
ever wanted got away, and vice versa. I don't think no man has ever like had a woman in his grasp and she got away. It's always he let her go because he wasn't ready, he wasn't mature enough to handle it, or he wanted to be in the streets. What I mean by settling is like, for one, women, my opinion, women only have two things: the power of who you decide to make a father and who do you decide to sleep with. Which crazy, they both kind of go hand in hand. Women make the decision on who they sleep with and who they make a father. You don't decide when you become a wife. You don't decide when you become a girlfriend. You don't decide when you go on dates. A man has to put that on the table. Like, and just like, I don't, when it comes to settling, right? I never want anyone to settle for me because I feel like this, truthfully. When someone settles for you, you're always on thin ice. You're always on thin ice. They look at you and say, you know, anything you do out of the realm of everything they want, they're gonna say, oh well, you know, this is why I typically don't, you know, I didn't want you in the first place. Like I've had somebody say these things. Like I've heard them and like, you know, they'll say these things to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, so you think that makes me want to deal with you? Like, I don't want to deal with you. Like, you gotta want me more than I want you. That's how I feel. Like, you gotta be madly in love with me.
Yeah, I think it should be reciprocated. Ideally, you know, I don't know about even, you know, like, oh, you gotta love each other evenly. I don't think that's really a thing. You know,
It's not
you
real.
can't really. How do you quantify love, the amount of love that someone has in a relationship? But it definitely needs to, you know, seem equal and just. I mean, it needs to be reciprocated. Like I feel like you can feel when it's genuine and you know reciprocated.
So what if a woman say you typically ain't the type of man that I would deal with? How would that make you feel?
I mean, it means to me that means she used to dealing with slow niggas.
Nah, I mean if she said it in a negative, like, all right,
In a
so,
negative way?
like so like a woman say, well, you know, I typically don't date men with children, and like, how would that make you feel?
Like I'm the shit because she
See, no, I'm opposite on this. Like, because if you
I'm
they
saying, bro, my point is women will change that people will change their mind when they meet you, when they start talking to you. People can have all these different rules and lists and
don't
all
break
this.
your rules for me. I don't want to be the exception to the rule. I want to be the standard.
I mean, I heard it.
I wanna walk in the room and she be like, oh, that's my man. Like, I don't wanna be like, well, you know, I had all of these, you know, I only wanna date a man that got a college degree and all of that, and then I met him and he changed my opinion. No, I ain't changing your opinion. I don't wanna be the man to change your opinion. I wanna be the rule. I want to be the standard for the woman that I'm going to be with.
I mean, some of those things can be superficial though.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
No, because they'll every time you don't do something that they agree upon, their mind goes to that space of saying, you know, well, this is why. And I know you've experienced it because we all experienced. We've been on the receiving end and we've been perpetrators of this thing where we'll deal with somebody we typically don't want to deal with. And the minute they stop doing everything to appease us, in our mind we say, all right, this is why. This is why I typically don't.
Yeah.
Like you know, like if you say I don't typically interracially date, and then you start dating a white girl, and then the white girl make you mad, you gonna say, well, this is why I don't date white women. Like,
I can see that.
I want to be the standard. If I'm not the standard, you ain't got to pick me. That's the beautiful thing about, being of choice. You ain't got to pick me because I ain't got to pick you.
Yep. Man, I think the beauty of a relationship is waking up and choosing each other every day.
Woo.
Like, that's.
I think that's unrealistic too. Now, some days I'm not going to like you. Like that's the beautiful thing about a relationship.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Is knowing that every day is not going to be good.
But y'all gonna stick it out together, And you still choosing to be there.
Yeah, because because the mature thing that says that I might got to give 80 today. She might ain't got 50 to give me, so I'm gonna give 80 today. That's the mature thing. That when everybody say, how do you know when you love a woman, or how you know when a woman is the one, is when you can see that woman at her worst and remember who she is at her best. That's my opinion about that.
Yeah.
Because, when you dating somebody, when you're not living with them, you see them at their best all the time. Like, but when you live with them, you're going to see the little things, Maybe you don't like the way she do this, or maybe you don't like the way she do that, and vice versa for men. But when you typically can see that person at their best, even when they're at their worst, is when it's real. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, not all that lovey-dovey, like, foolishness that people typically think. All these memes, like, I want a man that do this and do that. Yeah, we typically are going to do those things for a woman when we finally get them. We kind of tape off. We all do that. That's natural. Natural. It's like, I'm gonna put my best foot forth until I get that promotion. Once I get that promotion, I'm gonna relax. I worked too hard for the promotion. Now I'm gonna relax.
Yeah, that's human nature. Like, you tend to slack off. That's why they say you got to keep dating your spouse and your wife and your husband, all that type of shit. Huh?
All of those things are unreal because you go into build mode. I feel like it's phases. You fall in and out of love with your spouse over time. Like, ask anybody that's been in a marriage for 30 years. Ask them, do they like that person? Or do they like that person the whole 30 years? No.
Oh, yeah,
Joe probably ain't get talked to for a whole month in some of them relationships. You know how women do. Women ain't she gonna still cook. Grandma still cook. Grandma still did Joe laundry, but
Joe
wasn't getting talked to some days, weeks at a time, like Bert, But I feel like social media has driven us to a space to where we need to be rewarded all the time, especially in our relationships.
The instant gratification.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I don't operate like that, and I think not growing up in tough environments, having to do without in other places of my life, like, I feel like that has conditioned me in the right way to not need instant gratification. Like, I can look at something and say, yeah, low hanging fruit. I can work a little harder to get the better fruit. I don't want the low hanging fruit.
Makes sense. All right, cool. You got any more thoughts on it?
No. Stop settling.
Okay, cool. Like, okay, so
or standards. Ooh, standards. We never talk about standards and preferences. Like, stop telling people what you prefer, because I don't want to be the one to humble you. Like, that's another thing too. I don't want to be the one to humble you. Like,
what you mean? What do you mean? Stop telling people what you prefer? I mean, like, on social media.
Stop. I mean, stop stating your preferences. Like, I mean, your preferences are your preferences, but I think, like I said, people tend to settle out of all these standards and preferences that they say they have. Like, like, I had somebody tell me, like, when it came to you, oh, God humbled me. What? Like that is nothing. Nothing is appealing about that to me. Like, I don't know. I think she thought she was complimenting me.
Yeah.
But it was total disrespect.
Total disrespect.
That's how I felt. Like, so stop talking about preferences, because yes, God gonna show you that, the person that you could think might not be your type is everything that you want. So stop just talking about your preferences. Like, go by how a person treats you. Go by how somebody make you feel, not these unrealistic expectations that y'all are having in your 30s. You're not a 20-year-old woman that's still having fairy tale thoughts. Some of y'all are knocking on 40s.
But did you say no? Did you say stop settling?
No, I ain't saying you gotta settle. I'm saying that grow realistically. Like, we are in our 30s. Like, it's not a lot of people that has not been married, that has not had children. Like, some people in their 30s got grown kids. Like, so stop getting on her. You ain't been in a relationship since high school. But having the audacity, men and women, this is not just tailored towards women. This is a man and women thing. You ain't been in a relationship since high school. You still on social media. You still in these forums telling people how you feel and what you expect. Stand in the mirror and look at yourself. I want you to take that 17, 18-year-old photo or that college freshman photo and then put it next to your face and look in the mirror and see who you've been lonely all of these years. You ain't the same 17, 18-year-old college freshman anymore. You are a grown, mature person. You are aging. Life is kicking your ass. Relax. Time to reevaluate life. So settling is a mindset, truthfully.
Okay.
And it usually comes with unrealistic expectations. That's like somebody with a 400 credit score walking in Mercedes Benz that makes $40,000 a year saying that I want me a G-Wagon. They're going to be dragging your ass up out of there because you can't get nothing up in there with them standards. With that, what you bringing to the table, it's not something you're going to be able to get. So you have to change. It ain't about settling. That's about changing your expectations. I think that's what a lot of these talking heads and these relationship conversations be missing. Like, yes, you deserve to be treated like a queen, but understand who your king is. Chris Brown ain't gonna be your king. It's my opinion. Like, he ain't your king. You wanted Chris Brown to do some things when you looking like Della Reese.
All right, moving on. I think I want to talk about I've been seeing a lot of people talking about R&B like R&B is dead.
It is.
Like you ain't got no more male groups. And what? Why did it? I mean, why did it die? Like, why did R&B fall off?
Because our R&B singers they wanted to be the rappers. That's just as simple as that. When they start harmonizing, these hoes ain't loyal. When they became somebody sung that, nobody's telling you to be in love anymore, bro. Nobody's screaming it. Like, if I'm sad, if I'm feeling a type of way about a relationship, I gotta go to the 90s. I gotta go get how I feel from the 90s. Cause if I go to the 2000s, fuck that bitch. It's what I'm getting from the music.
Yeah, I think
find you a new bitch.
The lyricism changed, I like
just remake the old songs.
I'm saying, like, people had a way of saying things back in the day. Now it's just super blatant, like suck my, and yeah, I feel like it's just a way with words it isn't the same anymore. So
nobody, but so let me ask you this: has a woman ever made you feel like? But Teddy Pendergrass said, "You inspired me." Has a woman ever made you feel like that? Because that song I think was made before
Inspired?
we were here, yeah, or when we were kids. I think either we weren't even born yet, but I still hear that song, and when I hear that song, it makes me feel a certain type of way.
I would say yes.
Right, yeah. But have you heard a new singer say that? Have you heard a song?
Sure, it's something out there.
But I'm talking about something that's on a national level, not this underground singer that nobody knows that's performing in one room. I'm talking about, have you heard a major artist say that this woman has inspired me?
I don't know.
My greatest inspiration. Have you heard that from?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx said, "You changed me."
When you say that? On what song?
You changed me. I think that's the name of the song.
That sound like some R. Kelly said. Did R. Kelly say that? I think R. Kelly got a song called "You Changed Me." He does have a song like that. I think he's talking about God though, but
nah, I'm talking about Jamie Foxx. Talking about the woman, "You changed me."
But yeah, I think that's the message in the music. And this goes.
Jamie Foxx is also older too. Yeah, which makes sense. So.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx, my mama age.
Yeah.
But I think the music exists. Music only affects the black community.
What?
Yeah, let's go there.
That's a good point. I kind of I feel like back in the '90s, like white people used to listen to R&B, but it's like white people age out of shit.
Yeah,
It's just like Greek, like they go Greek in college, and then after college over they
they don't
do.
care about that no more.
They listen to black people music, R&B shit. Then after they turn a certain age, it's like, oh, we ain't listen to this shit no more. So yeah, you might be cooking on there. You might be cooking with some grease on there.
Yeah, I think that we are the only ones that affects our, and we are the biggest consumers of music too. Like, just think about this. So listen. So when you hear these songs, that nobody's talking about love anymore. Nobody's talking about relationships, families. Like, you hear none of these things from men or women anymore. Understand that a bigger power does not want those things to exist. Like, and when we say that crime is a big business, the separation of families are a big business. Understand that business is expands beyond just court and violence and all of that stuff. Like, it goes into the music. It goes into what's in your community. Like, Chipotle is only in nice areas. Ain't no Chipotle in Fraser in North Memphis.
Yeah,
And you can go around any neighborhood. This ain't just subjective to Memphis. This is anywhere. Yeah. Like, understand what's in your community, what's in your neighborhoods. Is demographically, they study you. They study us. And then they tell us what we decide we like. I like Chipotle. I like nice places to eat. Like, I can't wait till we get a Cava. I'm gonna be at Cava every day. But why do you gotta ask yourself why you don't see those places in your communities, even when your city has them? Because we ain't got a Cava here yet. But I guarantee you, it won't be a Cava in Orange Mound before they put one in Bartlett.
What are you saying?
Cava.
Oh, Cava.
It's like a Mediterranean Greek style, like Chipotle.
Okay.
So yeah, they make a little bowl. Shout out Cava. Shout out Chipotle. But yeah, like, we don't have any healthy options. We got more liquor stores in our communities. In churches. Liquor stores and churches. There's a liquor store and a church on every corner. And a McDonald's. Now, you drive down Winchester and from 38115 to 38125, it's like 6 McDonald's on Winchester. Music, I feel like the same way. Like, we are the biggest consumer of music. They put the things in our music that they want us subjected to. We talk about programming and all these things. Commercials, like when you go in a grocery store, all the junk food is at your knee. All the junk food is at your knee. Because guess who's at your knee? Your kids. But that's it. That's what I got on that.
For sure. Yeah, I think this it for today. Try to power through. I sound
His
terrible.
nose dripping.
I sound terrible. But I try to be committed to y'all and push through and committed to my co-host. So I'm about to get up out of here. I'm gonna let Jarvis close the show out, and thank y'all again for listening and or watching.
Disinfect this man. Right. Hey, brought to you by Lysol. All right. Yeah, this was week 5 of We Gave Up naming that podcast. Shout out to everybody that's listening, that's viewing, that continues to listen and view. We're gonna get better. We're gonna bring you more and more information. The man didn't properly check out, but that's my co-host Real. I'm Sean Jarvis. Peace out.
Peace out.